only half my face is
You're
shown.
live.
Hello. Bryce and I are discussing whether or not I'm centered on camera. There we go. That's good enough. I see Mary T, and I see Thelma, and I see Terry. I see Adeline and Irene and Mary R. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming out to play. Oh, we're gonna have some fun today. Let's drop the camera, please. Feeling a little self-conscious these days about the hair, and I keep threatening to just chop it all off. But... All righty. Well, here's our tease. There's my blank canvas. Whatever will we do? I think maybe we should just start in and do something right off, and then we will look at some finished samples and some others. So I have my stencils. I actually could be using my staycation. My station. I think it's called station. Station. Like stay, S-T-A-Y, shun. For this, but I have my mat out already. And I've already played on my mat, so we'll just
say hi to Kim and hi to Catherine and hi to Elsie.
Hi, Kim and Catherine and Elsie. Good to see you guys. So I'm taping my stencil in place. I did lots of trial and error last night. I bringing you some of the better ones, and the fails are over in my garbage. But one of the biggest issues I had was getting my mat to stay still. So
Mary T and Glenn.
Hi, Mary T. Mary T was on there before, I think. Hi, Glenn.
Mary R was on there before.
Okay, Mary T. Hi, Mary T. Okay, we are going to work with first. I have two different kinds of paste here, and I have determined that with the exception of the glaze, these pastes all work really well together. This is the Cosmic Shimmer Sparkle Texture Paste, and we've got that in the green, and then I've got this beautiful soft, it's called Midnight Sea, and we're going to put some of both of these on my paper because you can mix these. And I decided that instead of using a palette knife for everything, I was going to use some craft sticks so that they would be cleanup would be a little bit easier because I had every palette knife I had out last night making a mess with it. These, I believe, are in the store. They're from Momenta. And this is a really neat tool for this job. Another great tool for this job would be if you have some of those credit card offers that come in with the fictitious pre-approved card. That would be a great tool for doing this. Hi, Sharma. But look how nicely that puts my paste down. Isn't that neat? It's almost like a squeegee sort of thing. I got a lot more of that color than I wanted. The other nice thing is that I can run it right along my bottle and put all the extra back in my bottle. So I like that. Another thing I learned last night is it's easier if you clean your stencils and your tools as you go. Although I didn't really have any trouble, even though the sparkle paste was dry on my tools, I didn't really have any trouble at all getting the sparkle paste off when I was done, but I did have some issues with the glaze. I will show you my poor stencil from the glaze. So I've got this color on. I'm going to add some of this. And get myself another craft stick here. Now, I found, you guys know how dogmatic I am about the fact that you get first quality products. And I'm just going to tell you about these right up front. I don't think our friends at Ecstasy Crafts, who is our distributor for this product, are quite as conscientious about shelf life issues as we are here. And so some of these pastes are very thick. Most of the jars look about like this. It's down about, I don't know, maybe a ½ inch from the top of the jar, which is okay because some of that can have to do with we fill by volume, by weight, not by volume. But I also did find that it was very useful to spritz these when I first opened them. And some of them I spritzed a lot, like 6, 7, 10 spritzes if they were really thick, and others I spritzed just a little bit if they were pretty malleable still. But I wanted you to know that you may have a few more issues than what you would normally have with our products. The shelf life on these, because they came from the distributor acting like they were nearing the end of their shelf life. Not nearing the end, that actually is an overstatement. They came from the distributor looking like they needed water. That was a big overstatement. Because one of the things we're going to find with these is that you can, because it's a water-based product, if you will spritz it every time you put it away, and I mean probably 1 or 2 spritzes, depending on how thick your paste is, 1 or 2 spritzes, you can extend the life of these nearly forever as long as you use them periodically and you spritz them before you put them away. So that's how to prolong the life of your pastes. It's kind of the same principle that we had with the gilding polishes. Whoops. Looky here. How pretty is that? You want to see it done? This one has a little bit more variety in color. This one's dry now. Isn't that beautiful? This is the Luna paste. You can see that the Luna paste actually has a little bit more of a sparkle to it than the sparkle paste does. The sparkle paste is more of a glitter. Another thing I want you to know about this stuff is that I'm going to have you rinse this for me and put this on the table if you would, so I can keep my arms out of it. It's very, very easy with the brush to just brush it off in the water when it's wet. It takes a little more elbow grease when it dries. But another thing I want you to know about this really great product is that it dries flexible. Why do I care? I care because if my cardstock warps a little bit when I'm working on it, I can twist and turn my cardstock and that stuff does not flake off, which is beautiful. The other reason I want that is that I can die cut with these. If I wanted to make some butterflies or something cutting out of this page, this will hold up to die cutting. It won't flake and stuff with the die cuts either, which is beautiful. So it stays nice and flexible. It's gorgeous. So this is the Luna paste and the sparkle paste. Let's do another one. Let's see. These two. Now this is the Cosmic Shimmer Sparkle Texture Paste, and this is the Cosmic Shimmer Ultra Sparkle Paste. They all can be used interchangeably. Got green on it when I was handling it with sticky fingers last night. Thank you, Mary. It's good to be back too. I'm going to go ahead and use that same stencil again because I actually love it. This is available in the store. It's a good one. Beautiful stencil. One of my favorites. I have a whole bunch of stencils here, but this happens to be one of my favorites, so we'll use it again. Hi, Truth. So I learned lots last night. Taping your stencil down is a very, very good idea unless you're using a station or something that has magnets that's holding everything in place. Let's go ahead and get you might notice that I didn't rub this back off into my jar because I picked up some light green on it too. And I'll see if I can use that for something else. I don't want to corrupt my bottles. Now this looks a little chunky this morning, so I'm going to take my spritzer brush. I'm going to spritz 4 times here. And I'm just going to mix that up. If it's too chunky, wait a while to use it. Just let that water stand in there for a while. And it will become more malleable as the water absorbs. One of the other interesting things I found doing this was that jars that were a little on the dry side weren't entirely full. Some of them were half full. But then I went, I put the water in them and let them stand for a while, and they expanded back. After I stirred them up, they expanded back into almost full jars of paste. So even though we have a little thicker paste than would be my preference, I am pleased that we can. That's just a beautiful stencil. It just works so well. And this thing works really well on here. I think it actually works even better than a credit card because it is flexible. I'll get rid of my light purple. This color, by the way, let me tell you what it is. I have to use my brush to get it out of the labeling for my thing. It's from Momenta. I can see that very clearly because I got paste down on the lettering. I have a nail brush that I keep at the bathroom sink in here, and I use that to get my supplies all nice. And let's see, this one's beautiful. This has got a beautiful consistency to it. Put a little bit here and there. It's just going to be ever so slightly darker than the original color. It probably would be better if I would use two pastes that were more different in color, but I kind of got into this color theme thing. Okay, so I'm going to go up. It's good if you will, when you're doing a stencil, it tends to be a good idea to work in the same direction. One reason is that if you have a really fine stencil, and sometimes you just have to look and see which direction you want to place it and which way you want to kind of comb over it. But it tends to be a good idea to work in the same direction because it You don't want to be pulling up pieces of your stencil. Okay. And I'll save some of that paste, but it's got both colors in it, so I don't want to put it back in my jar. Get a baby wipe here. I use lots of baby wipes and lots of paper towels in this operation, I'll tell you. So we've got ultra paste and sparkle paste in this one. Let's see what it looks like when we peel this off. You can see that my stencil is picking up some of the paper. And my stencil was a little bit wet when I put it down. I should have dried it off. I'll show you why. See how it kind of smudged a little bit underneath? That's because the water pulled the paste underneath. But I just didn't think about that. So it's not like I'm not going to use that beautiful piece. I am. Let's take a look at this one finished. Now you can see a difference in the light. One picks up the sparkle a little more than the other. But it's beautiful, isn't it? So I'm going to give Bryce this so I can't get my arms in it. Because I will. I do pretty well when I'm applying stuff. But once I have finished products sitting on my desk, I will get my arms all over in them. So pretty. So pretty. Look at that. And you can see the lighter and darker tones. Not real well, but you can see it a little bit in there. It's enough to make it kind of unique. I do love it. So we have the green and we have the purple. And this represents the three kinds of paste. This was the Luna. This is the sparkle texture. This one is this lighter one is the ultra glitter. That's the one I think that's sparkling more of the two on this one. You see where we're getting more sparkle off of that? And then the deeper color one is called Cosmic Shimmer Sparkle Texture Paste. So that's what we're using. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Take my craft sticks out and going to close these up. I don't know for sure whether I'll use these or not, so I'm going to go ahead and spritz them so I don't forget. Next, I have a just going to go ahead and spritz these and just leave a little water standing in them for the 4 that we've used so far. Thank you, honey. Even though the textures are good on these now, I'm still spritzing them a little bit before I put them away. Annette, there she is. Go ahead, Thelma, if we paint with them. Thelma has a tip when we paint with them. Good to see you, my friend Annette. Okay, so we spritz them before we store them. Go ahead, Thelma, you got a tip for us? Okay. A foliage stencil here. I'm going to use for the next one. That actually will fit on my cardstock the opposite direction. I am going to dry these stencils off so I don't have any more of that. Bleeding under the stencil, because that was kind of annoying. Let's see what else I have here. These are some of the stencils I've used in class, so we may or may not have these in the store. But they're here in my supplies, therefore they got used. I'm going to put both stencils down there because I can have room for them. And I wanted to explain what we're doing with the sale. A few of you have found it, but I want to explain what we're doing with the sale. We are, Brittany's still listing Cosmic Shimmer. She told Bryce when she was here this week, don't bring me any more boxes because if you do, I'll probably first cry, then I'll quit. So we definitely that's a great tip, Thelma. Use a dedicated brush because you may or may not be able to get all the grit out of it, and then it just becomes a brush just for this technique. That's a great idea. And use a paintbrush to put it on instead of those bells mean an angel has its wings. You know, I think it probably has more to do with whether or not there's been a delivery on the front porch. But I like your story. We could go with that. I have that green texture paste that I had left over. I hate to waste anything. So I'm going to put that on this vine. We'll see if I have enough on there. I don't know. I'd have to add a little more green. Yeah. I'm going to have to add some to it. It wasn't quite enough. You know what I'm going to do? As long as I'm adding to it, I'm going to add another color. This is Cosmic Shimmer Sparkle Paste. This is Lime Burst. We're going to use a little of this Lime Burst on these tips and ends where we still have areas that aren't covered. Because why would you not want to mix them? The only downside to mixing them is that you have that little bit of mixed paste you may not want to put back in your jars. So I like to keep my jars pretty pristine with the original color. Oh, I just found another area that wasn't done yet. Okay, should be able to get the rest with my spatula. Oh, speaking of old times and seeing people, I caught up with Kathy Girly Girl this week. You guys all remember Kathy Simpson, Kathy Girly Girl? She is doing fine. I was worried about her because she disappeared and we didn't know where she went. And I tried to contact her and she didn't contact me back. But she says things are going great in her world. And she hasn't been around because she's been using some different kinds. She's been doing different kinds of crafting for a while. Where do you find your craft sticks? You can get those at the dollar store, Truth. I have a big box of them that I bought wholesale, but you can get those at the dollar store. I think I'll leave that stencil right where it sits for now. Leave it in place while I do the other side. So if I have any spillover, whoops, well, maybe it won't because I just moved it. Okay, so I won't do that. I was thinking it might be a good idea to keep it in place so that I would have that side protected, but alas, yes, Kathy Girly Girl and her beautiful bows. That's the one. So she's been doing other kinds of crafting, but she says hi to everybody, and I encouraged her to stop by sometime and see us. Told her we still love her. So hopefully, maybe we'll see her one of these days. I didn't want to pressure her because I know what it's like. We move through our different crafts, and I think that sometimes people don't want to watch What's New Wednesday because they might be tempted to buy things, and they're not using that right now. For Saturday classes, I don't know. I mean, we're still using different products than she's currently using, but never know. Let's get that spatula out here and fill in this stencil. This is a pretty one. I haven't used this one on this technique before. I had these in my alcohol ink and gel press classes. So I've used some of them for those, but not for these kinds of techniques. Now, I'm coming up with a good tip to mention to you. With these stencils that have a larger area, because this is glitter and because this spatula can get down in those spaces, it will pick the glitter back up if I'm not careful. If I overwork it, it'll actually start picking the glitter back up. So once I reach a point where I'm satisfied with what I have, I need to stop and look at my project. I just smeared it. That irritates me.
I didn't say this was a participatory class.
I smeared it, guys. Annoys me. But you know what? I think I'll use it anyway. I'll put something in front of the smeared part. Oh, here's another. No, you already did that one. Never mind. So, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, when you have larger areas, you have to be careful that you're not picking up the glitter out of your work. See, I smeared it when I took my stencil off. But I will put a smaller image here, and I'll use this piece. I just will be careful where I place my image on that one. Isn't this pretty? I love this lime color. And I love the lime and the green together. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Once again, it's down in the Momenta on my tool, so I'll clean this up better when I'm done. Don't know if I'll use this color again, so I'm going to spritz it and close it up. Are you still working on that? You were working for brother-in-law, maybe? Here's what that looks like, dried. I had a bunch of overage here. I thought it was kind of pretty, so I left it on there till I see. Yes, it does, Karma. It definitely happens. Isn't that beautiful? That's going to be so pretty on a card. I don't think I have to do an awful lot to this one. I'm going to put it on a card. I will probably trim this down a little bit and put it on my card, and then maybe back it with something. And I will put a greeting on there, and I think that's all this is going to need. That one's wet. This one's not.
No, it's not. Of course, the stencil.
Okay. Here's another one that I did with Luna Paste. Now you can see the sparkle in this. Isn't that amazing? Look at all that sparkle. And again, all three kinds of paste are dry flexibly, so it's not going to crack off or break up. I told Annette, since you've been gone, nothing's been out of stock. Isn't that pretty? Hot off the press stencil. I think I still have a couple of these in the store. It's easy to get little bits of things. One of the things I noticed last night is if I got little bits of glitter around off my fingers or whatever on it, if I would take a baby wipe and wipe it right away, I could pick up that glitter. So I don't think we'll do that one again today, but I am going to. I didn't spritz my stuff when I put it away last night, so I am going to put a little water in my Luna paste. I'm going to do this every single time I use them. Okay, let's look at some others. Here's one that I did in gold. Looks almost like snowflakes, doesn't it? But what it is this is the veins of a leaf. I have a stencil that's a set of two. I have the leaf and then I have the veins, but I love the veins. So I put that on with my gold sparkle paste. This is my Cosmic Shimmer Texture Paste. And this has got a beautiful sheen to it. I love this. One of the things I have noticed is that this is the Ultra Sparkle, and you see how it has white highlights primarily? This is the Cosmic Shimmer Sparkle Paste, and it's more holographic. It picks up other colors. It's got some pinks and some yellows and golds, so warm colors in it. Man, I had my stencil sitting there, and I had this beautiful jar of white. It's called it's actually not white. It's Icicle Blue Sparkle. See that one? Kind of reminds me of our Stickles colors, like the outdoor colors. And I thought, I wonder what would happen if I just used this gold stencil with that white paste, and I ended up with this really interesting and fun sparkle paste color where I was actually mixing them. See that? Mixing the two colors. Now, not to say that the blue wouldn't have been beautiful on its own, but I just thought it was fun to mix them and see what I get. So I already had the gold on the stencil. I didn't add any more gold. It just pulled off the stencil onto my white, and there we go. Again, they dry flexible, so I can die cut these. I can cut them with my cutter. Everything works great. I like the fact that I got some variety in this one. There's some that are more white and there's some that are more gold. I love that. Happiness is seeing a box from SSC. Here's one that I did. That one paste kind of overshadowed the other. I think I have a tip for how to do that. When I did this one, I put down my silver paste, and then I went over it in gunmetal. And what I was trying to do is I kind of had half of it pasted. One direction was silver, and then I was trying to pick up the other half in gold in this. So I was pushing the paint two different directions, and which I could do because this is round stencil. It's not going to tear up my stencil to do that. But because I put the darker color on last, I pretty much lost most of my bright silver shimmer. This is a beautiful color, by the way. This is called Blue Gunmetal, and this is the Ultra Sparkle Paste Blue Gunmetal, and this is Ultra Sparkle Paste. Again, white highlights. See that? They both have white highlights. but they are pretty together. We may have to try this again and put down the silver first. And no, put down the gunmetal first and then add the silver on top so we can get more of the silver highlights. Let's try that. Let's try that and see what we get. I got my stencil here. This is one of my great big 12 by 12 stencils. No, it's not. It's an A4 stencil, which is basically the size of a European sheet of cardstock. But I don't always want all that. So I cut my stencils in half. I actually lopped some of them up. And you've seen that before when we've done like the, when we've been doing the gel plates and stuff. You'll see that. Still had some tape on here from last night. So let's try this again. This time I'm going to put the dark paste first. And then I'm going to put down the silver on top of it in hopes of getting a little more of the silver showing. Don't know. We'll see. May just be when I combine the two, I'm just always going to end up with the gunmetal color. And if so, that's okay. The gunmetal color is beautiful. I'd like to see both colors. Another one of my wooden sticks out here. I could be using my palette knives to be digging this paste out. I'm only using the sticks because I'm using a lot of different jars today and I don't want to spend forever at the sink. So here's the gunmetal. And this has a nice texture to it. Although it is a little thick, I'm going to add a little water and stir it up some more. You don't have to worry if your paste is thick. And I don't want you to worry if your paste comes in and it's like 3/4 full. Because when you add water to it, it kind of fluffs it back up. We'll add water and stir it. You're not going to have any working room if it was clear to the top of the vial. So that may be all they fill them to. I don't know. But if it comes in and it's 3/4 full like this one is, that's good. If you ever, we're going to try really hard to check these before they go out and make sure that we don't have anything that's going out that is overly dry. Only a little bit of gunmetal, Thelma says. I will try, friend Thelma. You know me. I tend to get carried away. Let me put some more tape on here because these bubbles, it's a big stencil. These bubbles are big. I'm just going to tape the very edges of this down a little more to kind of hold my stencil in place. Looks like the pate you made. Okay, so Thelma's telling me, take it easy on that stuff now, Debbie. Don't get all carried away with the dark stuff. Yes, Thelma, I will try. I don't make any promises about not overdoing it because I'm known for doing that, but I will try. So let's just get a little on the palette. Use my squeegee to kind of move it along. See what I mean about picking up the glitter? See how it's kind of picking up the glitter out of the metals? I don't necessarily want it to do that. So there's two things I can do. I can reduce my angle and pull this. No, you're fine, Thelma. I love that. I like when you give me tips and ideas. I can, if I'm straight up and down, this is going to be more flexible and it's going to get into the circles more. So I can reduce my angle on it, and that's going to do less as far as picking up the glitter. And then I just don't want to overwork it. I'm going to leave that bottle open for a minute, and I'm going to get some silver out here. And let's drop some silver around on here and see what we get. If we can get some where we can see both colors.
What if you went the opposite direction?
Yeah, that would actually be desirable, but I have it all taped down to my mat, so I guess I'll just do it.
No, I mean, go
Yeah,
from
go
bottom up.
push it up. Yeah, that's what I'm going to try. We'll add more paste if necessary. That's actually really cool. We got some nice darker outlines to our circles. Add a little bit.
I can't help with that, but you can change it in settings.
Thank you. My Apple Watch is always talking to me about things I'm not asking for. I sit down particularly hard or something, maybe I underestimate the height of a chair. And I sit down hard, and he says, "Have you fallen? Do you need assistance?" I suppose that's a good thing too, really. Ooh, I like this. Okay. Now, the more I work it, the more I'm going to get a unicolor, so I'm going to stop. Bryce is being very helpful and mostly patient about running back and forth to the bathroom for me. Now, you can tell that there's a lot more pattern on this paper because the paper's really buckling because of the moisture in the paste. And mostly my circles turned out nice. Let's see how that dries. Put it over here, and Bryce can put it on the table. See how that dries by the end of class, and see if we manage to keep more of our silver, or and still have the gunmetal color. I don't know. Spritzing this a little as I put the cap on. Okay. Give this a little spritz. This is going to keep your paste viable for the long haul. So be sure you spritz them before you put them away. Then, I think, oops, I didn't get the cap on straight either. You also want to make sure you get your caps on nice and tight. I got paste on the stencil after Bryce washed it all off for me. Okay, let's clean up a bit so I'm not wearing all this glitter. And then let's talk about these glazes. I put them in this segment because I really thought the glazes were going to be just another version of stenciling media, but it's way different. The glazes are way different than the sparkle paste and the Luna paste. So, yeah, it's a very different product. And I'm going to show you and caution you with the use of this one. Getting some beautiful images here. There we go. I think I'll switch my my scoocher, for lack of a better term, my spatula here. I think I'm going to switch this so I don't get all this sparkle in my glaze because it's not a glitter product. So I'm going to wash my hands a little bit. I'm still going to have glitter on them, but I'm going to try and pick up some of the glitter so that it doesn't get into my glaze. Glitter and glaze. We have our glitter and glaze technique we use, don't we? With wow embossing powder. Fun. Fun, fun. Okay, let's see. Let me show you what I did last night. This is the glaze product. And I cut it out because I had lots of messiness around it. I didn't have my detail scissors handy to finish cutting it out. It would look a lot better if I did. And I will, but I didn't have it handy. But you can see that this is a very translucent, glossy product. This happens to be it's this one. And this one happens to be what? Daydream Yellow. Daydream Yellow. So it actually turned out really nice on the stencil. But there were a few things I noticed. One was that where the stencil sat in place for a little bit, because I was, it was craft night, and I was chatting and talking and, looking at other people's projects and stuff. And so the stencil sat on my project for a while. It tried to glue, the glaze tried to glue the stencil to my project. So I have little rough spots in my paper where I took the stencil off. So this is kind of get in, get it done, remove the stencil. There's another reason why you want to do that, and that is your stencils do not come clean very easily. This is after scrubbing. I stood at the sink with my scrubber and I scrubbed and scrubbed. You can see how glossy the medium is there. See that? Look how glossy that is. But it became a permanent fixture on my stencil. Oops. That yellow would be beautiful for daffodils. Yes, it would. So I think this product is fun. It just comes with a couple cautions. I like it. I like the glaze. In fact, I think we need to try a couple other things. Here's another one where this actually has the yellow on it, but it only has just a bit. I mean, I took it and rubbed my spatula across there, but look how glossy that stuff is. The sheen it adds. This was a red one that I had way watered down, so it's not showing as glossy, but the green shows glossy mostly. But this is just off my spatulas. But you can really see it here. And what looks clear, it actually is that yellow. So let's do something here. Let me see. I think I'm going to try the Thelma technique. Let's see. Now this is one of those stencils you have to watch because see, it's got all these little loose pieces. See all those little loose pieces? This actually filled in some of my stencil with. I may have to switch stencils.
It looks like modern art.
Okay. I can make a good deal on it. I think I may have actually kind of ruined my stencil with this paste last night because I did not take it and wash it right away. I stacked up all of my stencils and I washed them when I was done. This one you want to wash right away. You don't want to fool around with this one because this one dries into that hard glaze, and I tell you, once it's on there, it's not coming off. I can kind of, actually, surprisingly, I can kind of peel it off, which would be interesting to see if you did this on a piece of acetate. First of all, you'd have kind of a stained glass effect with this product, which would be interesting. But you also, because even where it's thin, I can kind of peel it. That's interesting. I might be able to save my stencil by going back when I don't have you all, my friends, on the line with me, and peel off some of this texture paste. I hate to throw anything away, so I think I have to try that later. But wash that stencil right away. It's still a water-based product, but once it dries, it dries hard. It dries very hard. So I want to try something different. I showed you the butterfly already, and you've certainly seen me doing the stencils already. So I have a piece left over from making my candles. I was going to do some glitter and glaze on here, but I think I want to put this on here and glaze over the top of it and just see what I get. I don't know. I've never tried this before. It's another one of those, what would happen if we did this things? I'm going to dedicate this brush to glaze and I'm going to ask Bryce to wash it just as soon as I'm done with it, because it will be ruined otherwise. I guarantee it. This goes on like a nice, it's almost a yogurt kind of good consistency. Don't eat it, but it is almost a yogurt kind of consistency in this product. Now, what this should be doing here, it's too bad I don't have two of these, because it would be fun to see how much it colors this while it's glazing it. I think this will enhance all the yellows and oranges in this picture. You'll be able to see on the white how much color it's actually adding to the rice paper. It made it a lot darker. I'm going to try and get it a fairly smooth coat so that it will be nice and glossy. A little bit of glitter up in the corner. That's unavoidable when I'm using both products, I guess.
Says you can also stipple it.
Could I also stipple it? I probably could. I already did this, but I could use a sponge and stipple it. That would be beautiful, I think. You see this little line going across here? That's where my tape is separated on the back. So when I go to put it down, but isn't that pretty? This is going to get hard now. So I do like it. I think it enhanced the colors pretty. You can see what color it's picking up on my background sheet. We'll have to check that out in a little bit. I didn't make it real thick. I give my brush to Bryce right away, so hopefully we can save my brush. But I'll report back to you on how that goes. So it shouldn't take too long to dry. In fact, stuff on my cardstock is already almost dry. But I just saw that sitting here and I thought, well, let's try that and see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen when I do that, but we can try it. What else do we want to do? Oh, I also have this orange one, and I have this stencil I did last night. What would happen if I take some orange and go into, let's go back to my other side, go into my butterfly? I don't know what will happen. I think it's going to be pretty though. Just coming in with some of the orange. Ooh, I actually really like it. So painting with this medium, you can do that. And like Thelma said, I think stippling would work really well with a sponge. So you could get a nice, interesting texture to your projects, especially if you're using natural sponge. But if you're using any kind of a sponge, you can still get a texture. I like this. This is working out marvelously. I'm going to actually put some up by his antennae too, even though I'm going to cut him out. We'll report on the brush here momentarily and how that did. I'm going to put some up by the antennae because I'm going to cut it out, but if I don't cut it right to the sides of the antennae, I want it to still look good, and I won't have white there then. Ooh, look at this, guys. I love the fact that I got varieties. Some places, oops, I'm going to hit it a little bit more here. Some places are lighter, some places are darker. I love that. There we go. Look at that. A quick swirl on the bagpipes. Okay. Good night, Catherine. Isn't that fun? I like that. I think that's very fun. Let me that brush back for 1 second, please. Thank you. It's had a kind of a glob down there. So I'm going to let that dry, and we'll check back in on that one. Give Bryce the brush. Here's the brush that Bryce washed for me, and it washed out really good as long as we do it right away. It's very soft and flexible. I still should dedicate these to paste, but it's good to know I can do that. And the other thing I was wondering about with these, honey, when you come back, would you please bring the a set of those stickers, maybe the black ones that's in the box I said I didn't need any of? I need it. I'm going to take a little drink of my coffee here. So what's the weather like where you guys are? It is beautiful here. It's like in the mid-60s probably. And sunshiny and gorgeous. I have a Keurig here in the shop, and Bryce made me some mocha. What I call my poor man's mocha. I don't go spend $5 or $6, whatever it is, a cup at Starbucks. I take a cup of decaf coffee because that's what I have to drink, and stir in a packet of Swiss Miss. I think you could, yes. You absolutely could. If you use, in fact, Cricut even makes a stencil material that you can cut through, Glenn. If you have a Cricut machine, you can cut your own stencils using their stencil maker material. But sure, you could use a craft knife and a stencil too, or a heavy acetate to make your own stencils. Acetate's a little...
It dyes your white brush.
Oh, yeah. Look here. This actually was a brown brush too. But yes, it dyed the
Bristles.
The bristles on my brush at the very end there. See how it's kind of yellow? That's cool. Okay, let's try something else here. I want to try this glaze product on a rose. I'm going to take one of my star forms. I'm going to put it on my cardstock. I'm going to get my water brush out. And I am going to paint with my water brush. Now, we added, I got my finger, don't want to waste it. We added water to this, so I'll take one of my craft sticks and stir it up. Was something I was going to ask for. There are some more pastes on the table that are the glaze paste. Could you sort those out and bring them over? Now,
They say glazed on them.
Yeah, this is what the caps look like. They're just black caps. I can retrieve all this paste off my craft stick. I love my water brushes. You guys who watch very often know that I use my water brushes all the time. So I can just paint right through the little openings on my sticker. If I was using a lighter colored sticker, the paint might show. I'm using black, so it's going to be fine. But if I was using a lighter colored stencil, I might have some paint on the stencil, on the sticker itself, that would show. And I got a couple ideas about that. One of them is consider putting another sticker over the top of it. Use an identical sticker and put it over the top when you're done. If you discolor your stencil when you're painting.
I asked if you could use a heavy acetate to make a stencil.
Yes, we just talked about that. You actually can use acetate to make a stencil. And there is, I was saying that Cricut actually makes a stencil material in a roll that you can use that might be a little easier cutting. Look how pretty that is. You know what we're going to do now? Oh, I can't believe we're going to do this. This is going to be beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Because we're going to take this orange and we're going to make these into peace roses. I'm not going to, I'm going to just get a little paste out. Oops. On my stick. I moved it and you still can't see it. Let's get a little paste out on the end of my stick, because I don't want to corrupt my paste with the other color. I love peace roses, don't you? Those yellow and orange, they're so beautiful. Ooh, I love that. That's pretty. That is pretty, pretty, pretty. I was wondering if I had any green over there, but I don't see that there was.
Brought you 3 colors.
Yeah, I don't see that there. Oh, hello there. Roses are my favorite flower. One of the reasons they're my favorite is because they're one of the few flowers I'm not allergic to. I gotta love that. And with my water brush, it did dye my, but it's fine. It's fine. Dye it just a little. Done with my orange. Done with my yellow. I want to get some green in here, but alas, oh, I do have a dark green, but is it? I found that some of these, oh, this is good. This is very good. Okay, Never mind. I was going to say I found that some of the grain or some of the glazes were particularly thick, and I'm doing an experiment with 2 of the bottles that I have here to see whether I can bring them back. I don't know. With most of these products, you can bring them back really well, but with the glazes, because they do dry so hard and so permanently, I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring them back from that. So that will be an interesting experiment to go through and see. We can check them today and see how they're doing. I'm going to do my best not to ship you any that are in that condition. In fact, I'll just alert you, we'll open them and check them before we send them. For those of you who are mail customers, and for other customers who come into the shop, we're just opening them right here and trading it out as necessary. And I will be talking with my manufacturer, my distributor, about the fact that they need to be giving me product in better condition, because that's not okay. Nonetheless, if when you get a product from me, any product ever, it's unsatisfactory to you, you contact me and I'll take care of you. Because you guys know I'm pretty passionate about making sure you get your money's worth. I want my money's worth when I buy things. I want you guys to feel the same way. Isn't this pretty? This is beautiful. We're getting kind of a stained glass effect here. Just gorgeous. This might be fun to cut out and use on one of our backgrounds we created. Look how pretty that is, guys. Oh my gosh. I did that exact thing, Thelma. I dug holes in the ones that were really dry, and I poured water over the top and let it stand overnight. That's exactly what I did. I used my palette knife to cut the holes, but rather than a toothpick, but I did try that. I love this. In fact, I even really especially love kind of the subtlety of the color. Isn't that just something? It looks like I probably could have stood to put a little more color in my buds. I think I'll go back and add a little more color to the buds. Yeah, because they needed some color. And now I want to give this a background, and I don't have, my blue is very, very blue, but you know, maybe it's okay. This is one of the ones that I'm testing to see if I could bring it back. Oh wow, last night this was, oh my gosh, last night this was chunky. I mean, just dry and chunky. And I put a bunch of water in it and broke it up the way Thelma said. And today I have paste. Now as I dig down in the jar, down further in the jar, it's still paste. It's still chunky. So I will do it again today. See what I mean about chunky? It's chunky. But I can probably get enough blue.
Almost says it could take a week or two.
That makes some sense to reconstitute. Yeah, I can get a light blue out of this by... Is your dog barking outside?
Mm-hmm.
And I can thin this with water. See that?
No.
Oh, I'm off the camera. I can thin this down with water to where I almost have a watercolor. I pick some up in my brush now. This is going to be nice because I'm going to get kind of a mottled color in the background of this too. This is a similar technique to what we're going to do with the tents next week. But when I figured out what this product actually was, it probably was more suitable to go with the tents than it was to go with the sparkles, even though they look similar in the jar. This is pretty, guys. I know I'm not supposed to say that about my own work, but it is pretty. It's pretty. It's pretty.
Annette said it for you.
Oh, good, good. Thanks, Nanette. We have to work out some kind of a signal so you could say that, and I won't have to. Don't want to look braggadocious. It is pretty. I love it when a plan comes together. Quoted from Hannibal Smith of the A-Team. I love the A-Team movie. I like the original series too with George Peppard, but I also like Liam Neeson in the... Oh, look at it, guys. What do you think? How beautiful is that? And it's dry and glossy like the sticker is. Oops, let me move some things out of the way here. Clean up just a little so I can show it to you. And so I think even the really dry paste, even the really dry paste is coming back. I will not send you one like that. I will try really hard to make sure that we're checking those as they go out the door so you're not getting one of those. But look here. How fun is that? Isn't it pretty? Beautiful. I'll have to let that dry good. That definitely does stain my brush. But if I squeeze lots of water through my brush, I can get most of it out. I have to go fill up my brush, but yeah, my brush still looks good. Okay, this needs to dry. And will you check some of the ones over there and see if they are getting dry, please? I wonder if I'm talented enough to cut this out while it's wet. This would be a great job for a die cut too, a stained glass die cut. We have quite a few stained glass ones in the store. And the beauty of that is that if you decide to layer your dies, you know, you're not having to buy an extra package of stickers. That is actually already dry, guys. Wow, that's amazing. Is that one? Those are nice and dry?
Well, I would say they're pretty dry.
Okay.
Might be slightly a tack to them, but they didn't come off on my fingers.
Okay. How pretty is that, guys? Oh my gosh. I'm going to try and layer this up with one of our other pieces we've made. And I think this would be beautiful. This will be my focal on one of my other pages. Bryce just brought back the ones that were drying on the drying table. Wow. This could be pretty. Maybe I want it lower. That could be pretty on a card. What do you think?
Could be.
Let's see what else we have. Yeah, this big one's not dry yet, but this one is. Well, I like that better. Okay, that's definitely not quite there yet. Oh, now this is pretty. How about that? We cover a card in our background. Choose any place that's just not as perfect. I put my rose over the top of that. A little greeting. I think we're good. I think we're going to use this one. Oh, I want to see the gloss one. I have a green one that's completely dry. So. I still managed to get a little glitter in it, but look at this. And this is flexible. I wondered if it would dry hard, but it's drying flexible. Isn't that pretty? I love the way it intensified the color. I wish I had one that wasn't colored that I could put right next to it to show you. But I do love the way that that yellow kind of intensified the color on this. That's beautiful. And here is our glossy butterfly. I'll fix his antennae there and cut out the rest of that before I use him, but isn't that pretty? I think that's a bit much, but never know. Okay. All right, let's make a card.
About time.
Bryce says, it's about time you made a card. That's a DL. I don't want that. To find a card base. It's a 5x7. That's bigger than I want. That's too small. If you saw my desk, you could understand, guys. That's really rather sad state of affairs. Ooh. How about this mini DL? I like that. I like that a lot. Let's get this piece here. I'm going to cover my card with that. That is beautiful. And then I need a saying, which I believe I have in here. A black and white one would be beautiful. Okay. Ooh, this is going to be beautiful. Beautiful. Catherine's not here to even hear me sing beautiful. I know that there's a lot of differences in quality in water brushes. One of the things I like about this one that I'm using, and this actually isn't a real expensive one either. I think they're like $6 something a set of 3. But one of the things I like about it is it comes to an actual point and the bristles stay together nicely. So there is a fair amount of quality difference in water brushes. I've never tried the ones from the dollar store, but I can tell you that the ones that we have in the store are nice quality. Okay. We're going to put this down on this paper. We're going to add a sentiment. I am liking this a lot. Do I want something behind my glitter?
You just put that on top of your card.
Huh? I did. I didn't mean to, but it's okay.
Get it now.
Yeah, we're going to use that green now. Sometimes I'm a schmuck, guys. But it's okay because I laid the green on my card with the adhesive showing, and now we're going to cover our card with it. All right. This is so pretty. Okay, and that's going to be so nice with that. Oh, baby, that looks good. All right. Put away my sheet of cardstock there. Bring my trimmer in. Get my measurements. Get my measurements on this. Kind of got that just a little. There we go. Now, when in doubt, trim. Okay, this is 3 1/8 inches wide. And it is 6 1/4 inches long. So I want this to be 6 inches long and 2 7/8 wide, I believe. So let's try that to begin with. Make this 6 inches long. Perfect. 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 Okay. Now, let's add some more tape to this piece. We are going to have soon we are going to have some really nice cardstock available for you guys. You guys are talking, asking about my cardstock all the time, and I've made some of it available by the sheet for things that are particularly unusual. But we're going to have some nice cardstock available for you soon. Good stuff. Solid core that is perfect for die cutting. And we're going to have, it's going to be half price. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to add that. And I have to get a sticker here. Look it up. I miss you. Let's have fun. You make me smile. I kind of like that. What about that one? You make me smile. You guys all say you like my laugh. I can't not laugh, guys. It's just in my DNA. I think I told you before that when I left the bank, people told me that people that work clear up in other departments, I was in human resources, and people that worked clear up in other departments told me they missed my laugh. I guess it carries. I have one of those voices that carries. Now, these are not pre-cut on here. I'm going to tell you what brand it is if I knew. This is Creative Expressions brand. So I'm just cutting that out. I have 2 of them here, so separate the 2. I like that black with the black outline on our flower. I could even put two sayings if I wanted. I have a lot of room on this card. I actually kind of like these together. Let me trim this one down a little bit more. You make me smile. Let's have fun. I like that. I'm going with it. Let's see. I need some foam. And some over here.
Sherman says the Kentucky Derby is off.
They're off and running. Oh, I used to. When I was a kid, I would wait with great anticipation for weeks for the horse races to come on. I was so horse crazy when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, I was.
Did you wear a big hat while you watched?
No, I didn't. I never did. I did have cowboy boots because they protected your feet from the horse's hooves. That was, I learned early on that tennis shoes did not have the same protective quality. So I did wear cowboy boots, but I did not wear a cowboy hat. I couldn't make myself do that. But I did wear cowboy boots because they had a most definite purpose. I had some this tape on my desk, so I used that. The nice thing about that is it's flexible. I could go around the corner with it. Just set that there for a second while I figure out. I think I want these to be kind of uniquely positioned. They should be self-adhesive, I believe. Before I peel it off, I should make sure. And cinnamon with these inspiring wordy cinnamon shades, cut the cinnamon you want with scissors, trim and add to your artwork. It does not say they're self-adhesive, so I'm just going to mess up my corners picking at it. So I'll grab my tape again. I did exactly the opposite. I went to the horse races with my uncle, and I was doing I don't even remember what that's called, where you bet on the top 3 horses to come in. And I actually did quite well, just choosing like 2 of the favorites and 1 that was middle of the pack. And I won a couple $100 that night. It's one of those things that you do once in a while, and you may have to make it a destination, because for me, if I ever started doing it seriously, I'd get addicted to it. So sometimes you just have to make things destinations. The same reason I won't download gambling software on my phone, because it'd just be too addictive. So I don't do that. I only gamble if I go somewhere. Wind Show Place, that's what it was, Mary. Yep. I couldn't remember what it was called, but you are right, my friend. That's what it was called. And I think I got my flowers in just about the right place. I'm going to go with those. Look here, guys. How pretty is that? Isn't that beautiful?
Turned out very nice.
So sparkly and pretty, and then shiny with the flowers. Let's see if we can get the flowers to shine for you. The flowers are all shiny. There they go. like the Starform sticker is. You make me smile. Let's have fun. I love that. That's fun. Okay, we did that one. I'm going to make one more card, and then I think we're going to call it good. Because we need to make something out of this, don't you think? I think we do. I definitely think we want to make something out of that. I'm going to keep this because I think I could use two of these in different colors and it'd be beautiful. Or just a strip of that in something. I'm probably not going to grab the right size card here. So I'll probably just cut one down because it'll be faster. I don't always do this too. I don't always do that, but I do it when I'm online with you guys because I don't want you to wait while I figure out what I'm doing. Okay, it's 4 1/8. And cutting myself an A6 card by 5 7/8. So now I have an A6, and I'm going to make this one 3. I'm going to make this 3 7/8, which it already is, by 5 5/8, which it already is. Got green cardstock back here again, because I think that'd look good on there. And I have a really weird piece of cardstock since I just sat my cardstock on my I sat my cardstock on my taped card last time. It's went on at a very odd angle. Can I make more potato salad today?
When you eat your shrimp and your Caesar salad.
Bryce made the best potato salad yesterday. Oh my gosh. So good. And he even made it with low-fat mayo at my pleading. It's still delicious. Oh my gosh, it was so good. He makes it with big chunks of potato in it. And he has those potatoes so they're still just a little bit indente. Oh, it's so tasty. My goodness, it's tasty. Alrighty. I think I told you guys I had my surgery date scheduled, didn't I? Did I tell you that? I think I did.
Good.
June 4th. And I'll have surgery. So I might be off for, I don't know. I don't know whether I'll have to be off or not. It just depends on how I come through that. But I might be off for a little bit after that. It is kind of major since it's oh, just right. Oh, that's pretty. That is so pretty. And this is made on sticker paper that it's been on for a long time. Let's see if I can get the sticker paper off of it. I can't get it off easily. I may just put it down the way it is. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Oh, that's lifting the adhesive. There we go. Got it. Spend a buck. He came in first and he won $800. I love that. Wow, that's pretty. And let's see. We want a cinnamon on this one. I don't know if the dark is too dark for this. Let's see. Where'd that sheet go that I was cutting on already? There it is. This might be a good birthday card. I think I like that birthday because it's got nice bold lettering, so even though the background is dark, the lettering will still show. Yes, I definitely like that. Okay. In just a minute here, we'll recap what we've done today. And while I'm finishing this up, I did get my card a little unstraight, but everybody will know it's homemade. What was I going to say? I was going to say that if you're watching and you're not a subscriber to our channel, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss anything we're up to. We do fun stuff all the time. Product demos, and show you how to get the most out of your hunky-dory kits. We do lots of fun stuff. And so if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss a thing we're up to. I like the fact that in this glaze that we put on here, the brush strokes still show. See that? I actually like that. I think that's neat. I could put on a heavier coat, and my brush strokes may or may not show. But isn't that pretty? I love that. Okay, let's see what we've done today. Here's our 2 cards we've done today. I am loving these. Aren't they beautiful? Oh my gosh, that was great fun. So we painted with our glaze. And then, oh, I'm going to need the ones back from the table. Yeah, please. Uh-oh. Screen just went blank.
It's fine over here.
Okay. Hopefully you're still there, guys. My TV went blank. I can't see your comments at the moment. Maybe it unplugged from your base station. Is it going to be one of the components? Yeah. Video one, HDMI one. I don't know. Oh well, he's tinkering. Oh good, there we got it. So here's the 2 cards we made today. I'm glad you guys could see me. I just couldn't see you. Love you too, Annette. Okay, then let's see some of the other things we've made today. And the paste we used. This was the glaze. Stenciled the butterfly and then painted over it with the orange. I'm going to finish cutting out his antennae, so he will be pretty. This is our trial to see, it's actually still a little wet, so I have to be careful here, to see if we could get more silver than gunmetal. I think we kind of ended up with the same thing. I think we ended up pretty close to the same, don't you? But that's okay. And here's our vines that we did. Now this one I smeared when I took the stencil off, darn me. But it still will be beautiful. I'll just put something up here. This would have been a good one to use on my flower. because I could have covered up that sloppiness. I love this with the two colors, though. Isn't that fun when we put the lighter colors on the ends? That's pretty. So we got that. We did this purple one. These are still drying. So here's the purple one. We used the two different kinds of paste, and we got two different colors of glitter. One glistens a little more than the other. We have another sheet of this. I'm so excited to use it. This is the one we just used in our card. We used the one I made last night, so it would be fully dry. So beautiful, beautiful. And what else do I have over here? Let's see. This is my leftover from what I just cut up, but I'm going to use that on a card too. That'll be beautiful. In fact, this would be particularly pretty, even if I just did like a solid next to it and then put something in the middle. That'd be beautiful. So I'm going to keep that piece because it's pretty. And here's this one. This is that lime. I love that lime paste. Isn't that beautiful?
Your water bottle.
The lime color. Beautiful, beautiful. Here's our purple. Here's my gold. My white leaves. Gold. And this is the white paste. It's actually a soft blue. Put on when the gold was still on the stencil. Love that. This will be a nice one to cut up and use on a Christmas card. Isn't that fun? I might put that star right on top of the tree. It actually would look really cute. And use the Christmas saying. And this one was just my sample of showing you how glossy that glossy glaze is. I think that's it for today. Boy, that was fun, though. It was great fun. I hope you had fun. I had a blast. And I'm so glad you guys all came out to see me today. If you haven't already done so, hit the thumbs up button. It makes me feel good. And it tells YouTube that this is a channel that people are enjoying. And so hopefully they will recommend us to other viewers. And when we sign off here, I'm going to ask you to hit that refresh button at the top and tell me what your favorite project was of the day today. What did you enjoy the most of what we've done today? Did you enjoy the glazes, the pastes? Which is your favorite? The Luna? I have to say, I think maybe the Luna is my favorite. That's the one that is the brighter glitter. But then I really like this. I really like the sparkles too. So I like all three of them. Different purposes. So tell me what you liked the most. We had the Ultra Glitter, which is the holographic one. We had the Sparkle Glitter, which reflects in white. And we had the Luna Paste, which is just like over the top glittery. And then we had the glazes that we tried. And we've had some great fun. So tell me what you like the most out of what we did today, or anything else you want to talk about. That's cool. I read all those comments and try to answer all of them. We will be back on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. That is 7 p.m. Eastern time, or please calculate the time for your time zone. And if you hit the little bell icon, the bell will actually remind you that there's a program coming up. When you look at your computer, it will tell you there's a program coming up. So that little bell can be useful for making sure you get here. That's it for now. It's Debbie from Simply Special Crafts, and I'm going to sign off saying good night, Gracie.